As the urgent need for baby formula stretches into another week, there is some good news. An Abbott nutrition facility has resumed its production. The plant in Sturgis, Michigan, shut down in February after the FDA launched an investigation into contaminated formula from that facility. That, combined with supply chain problems and the war in Ukraine, led to the months-long shortage. NewsNation's Ryan Bass spoke with some parents who say they are looking forward to some much-needed relief. Ryan?
They absolutely are, Rudabeh. I actually spoke with one amazing woman. Her name is Blessing. She's not only a mother of 4 herself, but she heads up a women's community group of mothers made up of 1 million moms from across the country. She said she's heard from so many of them that are struggling right now, not only to balance their full-time job, but to try to go store to store to find baby formula like this that has been missing from shelves across the country. Good news, though, obviously, as you talked about, with that Abbott facility back up and running now, hopefully more formula like this will be available on shelves nationwide here in the coming weeks.
I literally, I was shaking and in tears. As a mom, I would have never and could have never imagined being in this position.
Formula is gold now, essentially. We're down to our last 2 cans and just hoping and praying.
Moms like Natasha and Blessing and caretakers all over the country may soon see the relief that they've been searching for, with baby formula hopefully returning to store shelves across the nation. Abbott Nutrition's baby formula plant is back up and running in Sturgis, Michigan, reopening on Saturday morning in what's hopefully a giant step towards easing the nationwide shortage that's plagued parents for months.
It's can to can. It's can to can, not just for me, but for millions of mothers out there. I have a friend, in Houston who is literally, her husband is on the hunt right now, going to every single store. They are down to their very last can. I'm down to my 2 cans.
While supply chain issues have contributed to empty shelves, Abbott's FDA shutdown in February made matters even worse. The company recalled several major brands of formula after federal officials investigated 4 babies who suffered bacterial infections from formula made at that Sturgis plant, forcing Abbott to pause operations nearly 4 months ago. That factory produces roughly 20% of the nation's infant formula. The FDA greenlighted the plant's reopening in mid-May after they improved conditions, and they've resumed production of L-Care and other specialty and metabolic formulas. The Biden administration has tried to ramp up production of formula in the meantime, invoking the Defense Production Act to boost manufacturing, and via Operation Fly Formula, which the White House says will import 127 million bottles of safe infant formula to help stock shelves.
And we're going to make a lot more progress and ease the anxiety, the significant amount of anxiety on the part of moms and dads with newborns.
But parents are a bit skeptical of the overseas shipments, especially for babies that need sensitive types of formula.
How are they going to produce these mass quantities of formula and us as parents know that what we're giving our children isn't going to have some side effect because they're producing it in mass quantities?
The president tried to ease some of those concerns.
Again, letting our constituents know, Doc, that it meets the standard. We're not bringing anything in that doesn't meet the highest standards.
The FDA's commissioner said in May that the formula shortage could carry over into July, even with Abbott's plant back in business. Parents like Blessing want safeguards put in place to make sure this is the last shortage we ever see.
It doesn't make sense that a company shut down and then 40% of infants in the country are not able to eat. So we need to really sit down and make sure that this never, ever happens again in America.
Abbott said they would release this newly specialty produced formula on or around June 20th. That's when they said that target date would be released to customers there on shelves. Now, my photographer, Jim, was able to find this Similac Advanced can here of formula at a Nashville Publix here in town. But I'll tell you what, Rudabeh, I went to a couple of stores myself. Shelves were either empty or formula was hard to come by. So Abbott can't produce this fast enough for parents to get their hands on it to be able to feed their kids.
Get that to parents immediately, Ryan. And why will it take weeks to get the product out? I mean, what is the process in the production process until the formula actually hits shelves?
Well, Rudabeh, it's because of the time required for the formula to not only be dried, but safety tested. They go through the proper protocols here, which adds a couple of days to the production process, just so they can make sure that everything is good to go. Now, I will say, Abbott and the FDA both did some testing around their facility. Obviously, they had to close down because it wasn't up to safety standards. They did make sure that there was no more bacteria on the property or within any of the formula, so that is good to go. Certainly, Abbott's going to go through all the proper safety protocols to make sure when they do produce new formula like this, that not only is it safe, safe for parents and kids, but it's going to be up to standard and up to code as well, Rutabeck.
So many parents waiting for this. Ryan, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.